What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. It's Natalie. I am driving. It is fairly early in the morning, but I wanted to do this video because I just have this step on my mind. You know, how much of your pie are you giving out to others? Some of the services are great and probably very beneficial, and some of these things we're paying out, and maybe they're things that you can do on your own. So just a little food for thought. I wanted to talk to you guys about you know, going from having direct customers as opposed to having a broker be the middleman for you, and dispatch services, what they cost, what they can potentially cost, and what, you know, whether it's worth it for you guys or not, and factoring, you know, whether it's worth it for you or not. So I just wanted to go over some numbers really quick here. And again, this is just my opinion. These are things that are, you know, food for thought, something for you guys to think about, whether you are a new owner-operator, whether you're just starting your LLC or your corporation to get a trucking company going. Regardless, this applies to hotshot, this applies to big rig, this just applies to this industry as an owner-operator. Doesn't matter what type of equipment you are choosing to run, whether it's you know, Ram 3500, 4500, 5500, whether it's a freaking, you know, Kenworth, whether it's a Pete, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're a Conestoga, whether you're a step deck, whether you're a van, it doesn't matter. Trucking company, having your own trucking company, you know, there are dispatch services, there are factoring services, there are brokers, there are direct customers, and that's all pieces of the pie. And it depends on you and how you guys want to run, whether you want to give up a slice of that pie to somebody else to help you to run. So I'm gonna keep my numbers really basic because I am driving and I don't need to be like having a calculator and driving and doing this kind of math. So I'm going to keep my numbers realistic but simple. So let's go from a direct customer. Okay, direct customer has a load, it's going 500 miles, it requires whatever type of equipment. Customer goes to a broker to find a carrier to move their load for them. Okay, the broker says, oh yeah, I can move that load for you and it's going to cost you $1,200, $1,200. So brokers, whether you guys know this or not, I've done some research, and I know for a fact that brokers are taking anywhere between 20% to 45% off the top. So let's keep it easy math. The customer's paying out $1,200 for a load, brokers charging 20%. So that load, customer's paying out $1,200, and the broker's taking it, putting it together on a little rate con, posting it to truck stop, DAT, whatever load board that they use, and they're posting it for $1,000. Okay, so they took their 20%. And we all know, just like us owner operators, you know, we have a little bit higher payout on some and we have a little bit lower payout on others. So same thing goes with the brokers. Ooh, bumpy. Sorry, people. Same thing goes with the brokers. Sometimes they win a little bit more. Sometimes they get a little bit less. It just depends on the load and the availability, spot market, you know, truck to load ratio, all that different stuff. So anyways, let's just say they take their 20%. That's $200 off the top. So they post the load. They deal with a couple phone calls, post the load, and they find a carrier, and they say, okay, it's going to cost $1,000. So you have a dispatch service. Dispatch service average, I see, average percentage that a dispatch service is going to cost a carrier is about 10%. So dispatcher finds the load. They spend anywhere from 50 seconds to 50 minutes finding you that load, and they're taking 10% off the top. So that $1,000 rate con turns into $900. Okay, dispatcher sends you the rate con. It shows $1,000 on it. You call Origin, confirm address, confirm pickup times, go to the address, pick up the load, secure the load, baby the load, stop, and check the load while you're en route. You get close to destination, you call the destination, confirm delivery, confirm the address, get there, unstrap, untarp, whatever you got to do. They get their load off, you put all your securement away, and then you have a rate con and a POD that is signed. Now you need, you can't wait no 30 days. You got fuel, you got bills, you got kids, you got all these things. So you have a factoring company. Factoring companies charge you anywhere from, let's just say, 3% to 8%. And they're going to pay you for, once you send them that rate con and that POD, they're going to pay you anywhere between 24 to 72 hours. Okay, so let's just say, for the sake of Natalie's math in my brain, let's just say that factoring company is charging you 5%. So now that $1,000 rate con is $50 off the top. So they're going to pay you within 24 hours or 48 hours, whatever it is. So $50 they charge you. So now you have 900. They're going to pay you $950 minus the 10% from the dispatcher. So there's that $1,000. There's that $100. So that's $850. So from that $1,000 load, you're taking home $850. Not really taking it home. Now you have to, of course, pay your commercial insurance. You have to pay your truck payment. You have to pay for the fuel, your lodging, your food, all of those different things that you have to pay out just to move the load. We all got to eat. We all need a truck to move loads. Blah blah blah. So $850. So I've been posting my revenue. Let's just say I average $4,000 every week running how I want to run. And so if I paid out $150 for every 1,000 that I grossed, that's $600. $600 for every week. Okay, $600 times 52 weeks in a year. That's over $31,000, $31,000 and change. So that's a lot of money just to pay a dispatch service to look on the load board, and just to pay a factoring service to pay you now because you can't wait for the ACH, or you can't wait for the check in the mail. $31,000, and you still have to pay to actually haul the load. So that's a lot of money, $31,000. A new truck is about $50,000, $60,000. So that's half of the cost of a brand new truck. So it's up to you guys, whether it works for you, whether if you have a dispatch service that is freaking awesome, and it's just easier for you to have them find loads. They're behind the computer, and it can get a little bit stressful to try and book loads while you're on the road, or you can just make it a part of your routine. You get up in the morning, you shower, you brush your teeth, do your hair, whatever. Well, jump on the load board. The cost of a load board annually, let's just say it's $100 a month. There's $1,200 a month to pay for the actual load board, as opposed to $30,000 to pay for the factoring and the dispatch service. So, it's up to you guys. But that's, for me, that's a lot of money. I've played this game. I've been in transportation for 14, 15 years. It was just a step for me. I started this trucking company not to become a driver. I started this trucking company because I wanted to start a trucking company. I wanted to start a business. So for me, I went through the stress, and it was stressful. I went through the stress in the first, 6 months or whatever, dispatching myself, because I wanted to see if it could be done. Can I run the loads? Can I find the loads myself? And can I avoid factoring? I think factoring, my personal opinion on factoring is the devil. Stay away from it. If you can, by any means, avoid it, try to. A lot of these brokers, a lot of these companies that, like whatever, Landstar and JB Hunt, whatever, and a lot of even the smaller ones, they'll offer quick pay. If you got to do quick pay, do that. Do that over factoring, or only factor, when you need to, or only factor on the big loads. Try not to factor on the small stuff. Let that stuff come in as it comes in. Because in the long run, if you can get away from factoring or avoid it completely, it's more money in your pocket. That slice of the pie that you could be giving to somebody else, it's yours. So that's my opinion on it. I have been in transportation for a long time. I have managed other companies' fleets. I have done, everything from working the shipping and receiving, window, to being a distribution manager, running a giant entire section of a warehouse of storage, and distribution of product. And I've managed other companies' fleets. I've dispatched a ton of drivers at once, handled loads, and seen it through from, rating the load to getting a driver on it, to having them pick it up, having them drop it off, and compliance and everything. So with this company, I wanted to start it not so that I could become a truck driver. That's not the point of this for me. Although it has been fun, it has been a neat experience, but I wanted to start a transportation company, and I wanted to do it and see, can I do it on my own? Is it feasible? With today's business, can it be done all on my own? So maybe my gross revenue that I post is lower than some others that you may see out there, or the talk around the truck stop. Oh, I make $8,000 a week. I make $8,000 in 2 days. Who knows? Whatever. You got to find your niche. You got to find what works for you. And, you got to see, okay, how much of that gross revenue is going out? The point for me is to run the least amount of days, the least amount of miles, and make the most amount of money. So if I'm going to sit in this seat, it ain't going to be for no 3-4 hours. If I'm going to sit down in this seat, it's going to be for a full day. I'm going to do as many deliveries as I can in that day. I don't normally, it's not common that I drive more than 500 miles in a day, but I'm doing deliveries and pickups as well in one day. And so I make it a full day. If I'm going to sit in this seat, if I'm going to work, it's going to be for a full day. And I'm going to cram as much as I can into it. I don't run cross country, so I don't end up doing a ton of miles. I tend to do more regional, and that's what works for me, to see the type of money that I need to see. So, but those are things to consider, you guys. Is it worth it? Maybe you're not great on the phone. Maybe it's not easy for you to negotiate. Maybe it's stressful to look on the load boards, or you don't know how to search, or what to search for, or what type of loads you qualify for with the type of equipment that you're running. So for some, it's easier to have a dispatch service, and for others, maybe it's something that you can learn and you can save yourself that money and you can keep that piece of the pie. So again, this is all my opinion. This is from what I see. I'm not a newbie, so I have seen a lot of different things, and I've tried running in different ways. I've tried running local, I've tried running long haul, and for me, I just see that the money is higher. There's more pickups, there's more deliveries, but the money is higher for me. The take home is higher for me. The gross revenue per mile is higher for me when I run regional. So for me, that's what works, and that's what we have to do, whether you guys are new or just thinking about starting out, or whether you've ran for a little bit, and whatever you're running or whoever is working with you is not working for you, make the changes, make these little adjustments, try something different, try, what, I'm going to run over here, and I'm not going to stay so far from home, or I'm going to just go balls out and just run cross country. Whatever you want to try, try something different. If what you're doing now is not working for you, make the changes, make the adjustments, and see what could be working better, or what puts a little bit more money in your pocket at the end of the day. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and I'm going to do some more videos on dispatching and a couple of other things that I've kind of touched on a little bit on this video, and hopefully that will help you too. And I'll try not to do videos while driving, because it seems like it's pretty bumpy. So if you guys hated it because it was super bumpy, let me know, and I just won't do this anymore. I'll just wait till I get to the hotel, okay? So anyways, hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you soon.